Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the podium Chancellor of the University of Nebraska Medical Center, Dr. Jeff Gold.
I really appreciate your being here on this historic day with us. It just seemed that fast that this project got done. Well, certainly I will do my best to stick to the script, but sometimes when occasions are this important and carry this much emotional impact, people tend to wax a little bit philosophical, but I'll try. So as the Chancellor of the Med Center, I have the great honor of welcoming you to the new home of the Monroe Meier Institute. So let's just hear it for this new home of the Institute. As you will hear more about from Dr. Murnix and others, this magnificent facility is the result of an unprecedented collaboration between our patients, their families, our faculty and staff, architects, designers, builders, in order to create a place that not only will conduct research, but provide care and caring, but to build a place where dreams come true for our clients and for their families. It was designed by people for people, and people who came together to create this building never stopped thinking about those that they serve. And for that, we have many, many people to thank. First on our list, I want to thank the Weitz Family Foundation, Wally and Barbara. Welcome. William and Ruth Scott Family Foundation, Bill and Ruth, and John, good to see you. The Suzanne and Walter Scott Foundation, and of course, Walter. The Hattie B. Monroe Foundation Board of Directors and its president, Steve McWater, and all of the other donors, families, supporters, and friends who have made this project possible. I'd also like to mention that the family of C. Lewis and Mary Luman Meier are joining us virtually today, as are hundreds and hundreds of other people. And by the way, those of you who are with us physically today, please know you are on a very highly selected short list. We did not want to organize a super spreader event here, but there are hundreds and hundreds of people who are joining us online who wanted to be present today, but are with us virtually. And I want to thank all of you, whether you're here and present with us today in this room or whether you're online, for making this day possible. At UNMC, and specifically at the Monroe Meier Institute, it's our mission to be world leaders in transforming lives for all individuals with disabilities and complex healthcare needs, for their families and for the communities. We serve them through outreach, engagement, premier educational programs, innovative research, and as we like to say, serious medicine and extraordinary care. I know that the people of MMI take great pride that during this pandemic, they were considered by others, and they considered themselves essential personnel. We consider it a privilege of our lives to play an essential role in the lives of those in this audience, and never closed for even a single day. And now that mission, that vision of caring, has a new home. Today, I say to all of you, I thank you for making this day possible, and welcome to the new home of the Monroe Meier Institute. And it is now my great pleasure to introduce Mr. Paul Kenny, the chair of the University of Nebraska Board of Regents. Regent Kenny.
Thank you, Chancellor Gold, and soon to be Vice President and Chancellor Gold. On behalf of the Board of Regents, I want to add my thanks and congratulations to all that have made this day possible, and what an honor to help celebrate this momentous occasion. It's the highest goal of the Board of Regents to serve the people of Nebraska, whether it's through our educational programs, our research, our community outreach, or our clinical care. Everything we do at the University of Nebraska is focused on improving the lives of Nebraskans. The Monroe Meier Institute is a shining example how we bring that mission to each and every day. Today is not just a ribbon cutting and an opening of a new building. It's also celebrating the very real, very human impact of the work the University of Nebraska has on the lives of our neighbors, our friends, and our family members. I've heard Chancellor Gold say many times that UNMC transforms lives. We see that every day, a service that people care provided by amazing professionals who serve at the Monroe Meyer Institute. I'm looking forward to hearing from family members and advocates who share with us exactly what it means to have a world-class resource here in our backyard. Many of us have loved ones who have received care at UNMC or have received care ourselves. We know the relief and peace of mind that comes from having the best health care professionals in the world looking after our loved ones. That peace of mind is so important for those who have a complex health care needs. Here at the Monroe Meyer Institute, families know that they're being served by professionals who are the best in their field, who care deeply about their work, who believe all individuals deserve a high quality of life. It is a true pride point for Nebraska that we are making an investment in the life of all of our citizens. Thank you again to all of our partners. Thank you. We look forward to another century of improving lives of fellow Nebraskans who work with the Monroe Meyer Institute. Thank you, Chancellor Gold.
Thank you, Regent Kinney. Just for this audience, the regents are unquestionably the unsung heroes of this great university system. Their time, their dedication, their commitment, their hard work, their advocacy is just absolutely incredible. So that when you run into one of our regents at a social event or elsewhere, please take a moment just to say thank you for all of their incredible hard work. So it is now my pleasure to introduce my colleague and my friend and, of course, my boss, the president of the University of Nebraska System, Ted Carter. President Carter, unfortunately, could not be with us today due to a long-standing previous engagement. He sends his wishes and congratulations and this video presentation.
Thank you, Chancellor Gold. I'm thrilled to be with you virtually to celebrate the grand opening of the new home for the Monroe Meyer Institute. This is truly a special day for Nebraska and for our university, and most of all, for the patients and families who will benefit from the expanded and updated facility that MMI now calls home. This new building is, in fact, one of the most comprehensive intellectual and developmental disability centers in the world. MMI already has built a national and international reputation for excellence. And with its new home, we will further solidify Nebraska as a world leader in serving patients with complex healthcare needs. I want to thank all the partners who have made this day possible, starting with Dr. Karoli Murnix, whose leadership at MMI is a primary reason we are known around the world for our patient care. But as always, we haven't achieved this alone. Generous donors have helped turn vision into reality as MMI enters its second century of service. The William and Ruth Scott Family Foundation, White's Family Foundation, Suzanne and Walter Scott Foundation, Hattie B. Monroe Foundation, and so many others have our gratitude. We are also indebted to the City of Omaha for its partnership. Mayor Stothert, thank you for your leadership and support of a world-class University of Nebraska Medical Center. Finally, we are grateful to Governor Rickards and the legislature for their partnership and recognition of the importance of a strong, successful university. The Monroe Meyer Institute doesn't just embody the four pillars that define the University of Nebraska Medical Center's work: education, research, community engagement, and clinical service. MMI also embodies the sacred value that in society we are judged by how well it cares for its most vulnerable. Today, in celebrating MMI's new home, we celebrate a community coming together to take care of the most vulnerable among us. Nebraskans have made a transformational investment. As a university, we are humbled to have the opportunity to help improve the lives of many more patients and families going forward. Thank you again to our entire community for helping us reach this point. Now I'll turn the program back to Chancellor Jeff Gold.
Well, thanks, Ted, who's halfway across the country at the moment. Hopefully, he will come back and report that he did successfully sell his home on the East Coast. So it is now my pleasure to introduce somebody who really needs no introduction, and that would be Mayor Jean Stothert. Mayor Stothert, congratulations on beginning of your third historic term. And I hope that this is one of the very first official events of your new term. Certainly not the last by any means, but we welcome you and thank you so much for the partnership, and thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, Dr. Gold. And this is my first because the inauguration was like last night. So this is it today. But good afternoon to everybody. And this is definitely a day of thanks and congratulations to everyone who has made this new home for the Monroe Meier Institute possible. We are so proud of the high level of patient care and innovative research we have here in Omaha. Your commitment is commendable. We recognize the needs and the importance to provide opportunities for everyone to be fully included in all aspects of life. The Monroe Meier Institute provides these opportunities to those with developmental disabilities to live as independently and as productively as they possibly can. When a family needs your services, this is the kind of compassionate and comprehensive care that we want to offer in Omaha. To the donors and benefactors, thank you. The continuous investment in care, education, and research is critical for a world-recognized medical community such as the University of Nebraska Medical Center. The City of Omaha is very proud of our partnership and our commitment to the treatment and training and research that we see here at this university. We work together to recognize the needs, and we take action to make quality of life better for everyone who lives here. Every time we cut a ribbon, we create new opportunities. The opportunities at Monroe Meier benefit the lives of the clients and the families that it serves. So thank you and congratulations.
Thank you, Mayor Stothert, and congratulations again on your inauguration. And it's now my great pleasure to bring to the podium somebody who also needs no introduction, and that would be Dr. Karoli Murnix, the director of the Monroe Meier Institute. Karoli.
Thank you, Major Stothert. I'm a little bit overwhelmed, to be honest with you. This last year has been interesting. We went through a social awakening. We went through a contested presidential election, fiscal uncertainty, COVID-19 pandemic, and many other challenges. But none of these things defined us as a community. None. I learned that resilience, caring, and hard work are the key fabric of MMI, and that I could always count on it. I learned that the human spirit is unbreakable, that love is a key moral compass, and the community spirit is the engine that makes us soar. And that is the theme of our new building. We built the world's most advanced treatment, diagnostic, and community engagement facility for individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities and their families. We built it on time and on budget during COVID. The vision of leaders, the love of parents, the passion of providers, the thoughtfulness of fundraisers, the skills of architects, the wisdom of elected officials, the sweat of the builders, and the resources and love of our amazing philanthropists glued this building together. My heart is overflowing with gratitude. With these ingredients, this is more than a building. This is a future and a promise. Promise to the next generation. And we are caretakers of this amazing dream that became a reality. Importantly, I believe that at this point we moved from beyond actually awareness to acceptance and opportunities. And that's a monumental step. And now I would like you to show a video that will give you some idea of the impact of this building will have and has already on MMI's mission.
The big dream of a community. That became an even better reality.
Welcome. The new MMI home is the most advanced building in the world for diagnosing and treating individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities and complex healthcare needs. At more than 220,000 square feet, this building is twice the size of our old home, and we carefully created many unique and amazing features designed with the patients and families in mind. In addition to being the place where we provide exceptional clinical services and comprehensive community engagement, this building is also a catalyst for cutting-edge research and training of the next generation of clinicians, scientists, and educators.
You know, it's a world-class facility, but it's the people that make the difference.
That's right.
And what's so cool is that this staff is so creative and imaginative. They come up with all kinds of ideas, and to turn them loose in a facility like this, to be able to really take things to a whole new level, is the exciting part of this.
It took a community to make this happen, and I'm very proud to be part of this community which cares so deeply about the people and families MMI serves. But most importantly, our new home allows us to provide the best, most comprehensive, supremely integrated family-centric services in the world.
The patient is at the heart of everything we do at MMI, and the building was designed with that in mind.
The possibility for growth, and as Joseph gets older, we hope that he never has to stop coming to Monroe-Meyer. So if there's more adult programming, things where he can access through the span of his life, that when I see the size and the possibilities of this building, that's what goes through my mind.
The enlarged space allows us the opportunity to provide many new services, such as the simulated apartment space, which allows clients to work on independent living skills with physical, occupational, and speech therapists, or the Caring for Champions program, which incorporates vision, dental and healthy nutrition, and wellness clinics to help clients address health issues in areas that can be challenging for them.
I've already told tons of friends about the dental and the eye. That is huge when you have someone on the spectrum who has sensory issues and you take him to just a normal eye doctor. There are struggles, and so I'm excited to bring him here to see exactly how they can work around his sensories and make the experience a little bit pleasant.
It also allows for care coordination, so that interdisciplinary therapy teams can work to provide holistic care for the client. Our commitment to our patients calls for not only the highest level of professional care, but a consideration of their time and convenience as well.
There isn't any other place that's tailored to the special needs of the child as Monroe-Meyer is.
We've been lucky enough to be a part of this community for 10 plus years, and actually more than that.
Yeah.
And We've actually been a part of many of these kids' journeys as they come as volunteers and then become leaders, and then some of them went on to be doctors. So we've been a part of so many amazing stories, and to know that they truly care is, it's beautiful because we know that they care about our kids and everybody else.
The new Integrated Center for Autism Spectrum Disorders was created, as the whole building was, to be sensory friendly. Our early intervention treatment rooms have adjustable, multicolored lights that have been shown to help enhance a client's mood. The move to the new building has effectively doubled our space for the early intervention and severe behavior treatment programs. And the building features calming escape alcoves where clients who may be feeling overwhelmed can take some time to gather themselves.
The building also offers so much scope for MMI's recreational therapy activities.
It's very comforting to know that she's in hands of people that we trust. She's been going to Camp Monroe and any just other services that Monroe Meyer provides from the speech programs since she was very little. So, we trust all the staff here and they love what they do, and, they're very caring. So it makes us feel great.
Besides providing a new home for our 40-year-old Camp Monroe, which provided services even through the COVID-19 pandemic, the building features a gym, aquatic center, a splash pad, and indoor and outdoor playgrounds.
When we were getting the tour, the pool, I hope I don't.
Yeah, that's Michael's favorite thing is swimming.
The pool area is just unbelievable.
He loves to go swimming.
I'm sorry, I can't. I had no idea it was going to be that nice. I mean, I knew it was going to be better than the old program or the old building, but it blew me away.
Yeah.
Our hot and cold water pools allow for new and versatile programs and treatments, and the easy access to Keystone Trail opens up possibilities for our biking club and other activities. Therapy can be fun, and in this new building, the possibilities are endless.
MMI is a place for families. This building was created to focus on family, fun, friends, fitness, and the future. We are here not merely to provide treatment, we are here to transform lives. To facilitate that transition, our goal was to provide a space where people can connect with resources, where MMI and its community partners can work together to help individuals reach their goals. We are committed to an environment where everyone is accepted, a place where everyone feels they belong and can be successful.
And that is only a small part of it. This amazing building was built for amazing individuals. It reinforces that as a community, we deeply care.
Indeed, a dream that came true. Thank you for it. Now we have two special guests that I would like to introduce who are with us virtually. A sports fan might know John Schneider as the general manager of the Seattle Seahawks, but in the IDD community, John and his wife Tracy are known as passionate advocates for individuals on the autism spectrum and their families. Ladies and gentlemen, John and Tracy Schneider.
Well, thank you for the very nice, warm introduction. Just wanted to say, on behalf of Tracy and I, congratulations to the University of Nebraska for opening up the Monroe Meyer Institute. Obviously, Tracy and I are huge autism backers and people that are out in the community trying to do whatever we can to help the cause. So, congratulations.
When we had our first child, Ben, we questioned for a long time what was going on with him, and we're seeking a lot of support and guidance. So when Ben was 3 years old, when we were living in Green Bay, Wisconsin, we received his diagnosis of autism. At that point, our lives were kind of tipped upside down, and we were on a journey we never knew we were going to be on. And we know firsthand how challenging that is. To hear those words and to hear what's happening with your kiddo. And what that meant to us was a lot of research, a lot of places. Where do we go to get support for him? Where do we go to get ABA? Where do we go to get speech and physical therapy and OT and social groups? And it was exhausting and a lot to figure out where to get all of those services. And of course, they were all separate in different locations and things like that. So the fact that the Monroe-Meyer Institute is in existence now and can help so many people directly and make their journey hopefully a lot easier than it could have been. So we're really excited and thankful that you guys exist now, and how many people you're going to help support down the road is going to be amazing. So thank you for what you've done. And we started Ben's Fund because we got to meet so many people that were on this journey, just like we were, that couldn't restructure their finances and could not get the support for their kiddos with doctor's appointments and various things that they wanted to do for their child. And that broke my heart. It broke my heart to know that there's something going on with your kiddo and not being able to get them the help and support that they needed. So in 2012, John and I started Ben's Fund, named after our son Ben, which gives grants to children, and now we've expanded to young adults who have autism in the state of Washington, and really supporting in what they need, because we all know this is a pretty individual journey for these kiddos, and as they grow, their needs change. So we really wanted to do something very, very specific and very personal in supporting what each family and kiddo needed. We now, like I said, have been doing this since 2012. We've given away over 2,500 grants, and we've raised about $4.5 million. And we're so incredibly thankful to our Seattle community. And it's been amazing to be able to support so many people directly and see their improvements and see how far that they can go. So it's been amazing.
I think the message for families that are just finding out that they have a child that's been diagnosed is that there's a lot of hope. There's the world of autism, and again, the Monroe-Meyer Institute, everybody coming together so you can get all your information in one spot in Nebraska is going to be a huge deal, because you're not going to be spread all over the place looking for different answers from different people. It's all going to be right there. And so I think that the hope of how far the community's come and the acceptance of children that are having tantrums in public at grocery stores, the things that Tracy went through with Ben at an early age in public, I think there's more of an acceptance there. And just, we need to keep continuing to educate people on what autism looks like.
Awareness, acceptance, and opportunity for these kiddos and young adults we're getting there, we're starting to get there, but we have a lot of work ahead of us. And that's one thing that John and I have really jumped into as well, is, sharing our story. So other people know that they're not alone, and you feel so much support in that. And we have been, very fortunate with John's platform to do what we can and to get that out there and to get people to really understand, if you might see somebody out in public and they are having a tantrum, maybe you just don't understand what's going on, and just not having judgment, and maybe hold the door for somebody, or compassion, yeah. All of that stuff. And we're getting there with opportunity as well. We see a lot with Ben right now, where he's in this transition period after high school and trying to figure out what the rest of his life is going to look like, and what is he going to do, and what does he want to do. There are just becoming more opportunities on that front. Employers are really opening their mind and seeing so much incredible value in our young adults and kiddos, that can really have a place in this world. And we think that is so incredibly crucial to the success of all of us. Congratulations again, and just continue that energy and keep building upon everything that you guys have started there. And it sounds very exciting. And I always remember every day you're providing hope for families way more than you even know. And
you keep showing up for work, and there's going to be good days, there's going to be tough days, but knowing that you're helping these families out more than you could ever imagine. So just keep providing that hope and love and compassion and understanding.
And from parents ourselves, we just want to say thank you and want you to realize the great work that you're doing. And like John said, the incredible opportunity and support that you're giving to families who are on this same journey that we find ourselves on as well. So thank you for being there. Thank you for being in existence. You guys are going to do amazing work ahead of you.
Thanks to John and Tracy for sharing their story and being such powerful advocates for the community. And now, please welcome a visionary disability rights advocate, an advocate for change, who moved the needle, a person who we don't need really to introduce, an amazing human being and a friend, Dr. Tim Shriver. Tim has been involved with Special Olympics since 1996 and is the chair of Special Olympics International Board of Directors. He has Special Olympics actually enjoys a global reach and with more than 6 million athletes across 200 countries, and use sport to change lives, open the world to various opportunities, and create a more unified, inclusive world. But it's also involved very much in healthcare and making sure that healthy athletes exist. So with that, it's my enormous pleasure. I believe that Tim is the greatest, most impactful advocate for intellectual and developmental disability rights in our, at least in my lifetime. Thank you.
As you can see, I was eager to get up here. I jumped the gun. And Karoli, thank you for those kind words. They are way more complimentary than I deserve. But if you look around this room, I think you see what it takes to create the strongest and most powerful advocate. It's an advocacy of us. And I am proud to be here today. I'm proud to thank the mayor for being here. I come from a political family, and it's not just that I come from, I know it's not the same politics as everybody in the room, but I'm not here for political reasons. But I do want to thank the mayor for being here, because I think it speaks to the importance that this moment has, not just for the university and for the medical center and for the institute itself, but for the city, and by extension for the state, and then by extension for the country. So I'm grateful, Mayor, that you're here. I want to thank also Chairman Kenney, and I want to thank the Scotts. We got to have dinner last night. You guys all know the Scotts, right? Because you all are, it seems like everybody here knows each other. But it was a real honor for me to meet last night and to hear about the golf swings and the philanthropy and all the challenges, and to hear in a special way, Ruth, you talk. Dr. Gold gave a little toast last night to the Scotts at our little dinner. And the word I remember, Ruth, you saying in response was how proud you were. And it struck me that maybe I'm here because so many families have said to me over the years that when they took their son or their daughter to a Special Olympics event, it was the first time in their life they could be proud of their child. And I thought that when you use that word, it just struck me that there's a moment here where we are seeing not just a gift to the future, as Karoli said, we are seeing that, not just a gift in a way from the past at more than 100 years old. We can feel the energy of the past here too, the shoulders on which we stand, the gift we are paying forward for this community and for the country and for the world. But we're also seeing a gift in the present, in this moment. It's almost like walking around this building, I feel like I'm in a giant transformer, where science is poured in, but it's transformed into compassion. You know, where people come here and they think training is poured into the building, and it's transformed into dignity. And where vulnerability, a word we've heard a couple times used today, comes through the door and it's transformed into strength. That is no small transformation. It is not transformed into pity. It is not transformed into sympathy. It is not transformed into sadness. It is transformed into strength. And parents, what I just heard and what I've seen is parents don't come here finding just compassion, just science, just care, just community. They come here and leave strong. And when they leave strong, everybody changes. We all get strong. So I want to thank you guys for your generosity. I want to, in a special way, thank my colleagues in Special Olympics who have extended our health platform around the world. Dr. Alicia Bazana, who has joined me here, our chief medical officer, who's working in country after country trying to bring this same sense of strength to those moms and dads all over the world. Imagine how many days we've gone now hearing of our athletes losing their lives in India and other parts of the world. This isn't over yet, right? The compassion we need, the transformation we need, we're just getting started, I'm sorry to say. And this place can act as kind of a generator of that kind of transformation. Karoli, in a special way, I want to remark on the way in which you can be a world-class scientist, a global leader in medicine, and be humble. Well, I didn't ask your wife, but I think that's what you said last night, Ruth. I think you said something to the effect that we can't get over how science and all that expertise, all those degrees, all those credentials, all those names after your name, and yet you have brought such a beautiful humility to this work that doesn't remove you from the picture but allows the picture to blossom. I personally have never seen anything quite like it. I just want to close with a short story from this morning. I was lucky enough to have breakfast with a unified pair of people involved in Special Olympics here in Omaha. And one of the Special Olympics athletes named Joe Drawal. And we were talking to them because they've been featured on Nickelodeon and they've been featured in other outlets as this pair of dynamos who are showing young people how it should be, teaching inclusion to others, right? Teaching it to their teachers. And I think Alicia said to Joe, what's your definition of leadership? And he said, leadership is when my heart feels love. And the rest of us were sitting around going, I don't think you mean leadership. I think that's something else. And people were about to say, well, Joe, do you mean? And then all of a sudden it was like, oh, that's exactly what he meant. This is a place with the best science, the best medicine, Dr. Gold, the best university, best mayor, all that. But it's a leadership place because this is a place where people's hearts feel love. And in my own view, and it's just one person here, I have no platform from which to speak with authority on this. What our country needs now, what we need, whatever our political persuasion is, whatever cable news network we watch, whoever we voted for, whatever ethnic or cultural or sexual identities we carry, whatever all those things are, what we need right now is a place where our hearts feel love. And I am proud to represent our movement at this ribbon-cutting ceremony because I believe I have witnessed, I have seen face-to-face what Joe described. At the ripe old age of 19, he should be at the Harvard Business School teaching leadership, in my view. Or maybe they can hire him away from the University of Nebraska. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for your inspiring words, for being here, and for all that you have done and continue to do. And I would agree, beyond a shadow of a doubt, this is a truly remarkable community, Tim. And I know you've gotten a taste of that, and you don't disagree at all. So we have spoken a lot about the clients and the families that we serve. But what I'd like to do now is introduce to you Ms. Susan Gass, who'll share some words about how MMI has impacted her family. So please extend a very, very warm UNMC welcome to Susan.
Thank you. There's a voice in my head laughing very hard that I'm speaking after Tim Schreiber. It's really an honor to be here sharing a little bit about my family and our connection to Monroe Meier Institute on this very special day. My husband Danny and I have 3 boys. Our youngest son Caleb, who's here with me today, is 15 and has Down syndrome. We had a lot of fears when Caleb was born, and one of those great fears would have been about friends and a social life and activities outside the home, like everyone else has. Monroe Meier has been a real gift to our community that can help ease those fears for a lot of parents. When Caleb was little, my kids were having a lemonade stand in our neighborhood, and Erin Brandenburg walked by, who's a recreational therapist here at MMI, and she met Caleb, and the next day she came to our house and dropped off a brochure about Camp Monroe, and we've been grateful ever since that Erin is always promoting her workplace. Caleb has been attending camp at Monroe Meier for 9 years. He attends Saturday camp, adaptive sports camp, as many weeks as he can get of summer camp, teen camp, and winter camp. He misses nothing. Of course, MMI is not just about camps. I recently completed the LEND leadership program here at MMI, where I got a very in-depth look at the programs, services, educations, clinics, and all the other opportunities that are in this building for those with developmental disabilities and their families. And they're really abundant, way more than I knew of. The community of Omaha is very lucky to have all of this available to us. MMI partners with our families to allow us to dream big for our kids. It provides opportunities for our kids to help them achieve their potential at home, at school, and within our community. The staff in this facility are truly amazing. They are the reason that Caleb wants to be here for every opportunity. He talks about them by name. He's irritated if someone is missing. He frequently knows what's going on in their families and what their upcoming plans are. Before COVID, when there were volunteers filling the halls of Monroe Meier's camp, Caleb loved them all just as much, and he could hardly wait every day to see who his buddy would be. When COVID shut the world down last year, my son and many others with developmental disabilities lost social outlets and many services. But MMI persevered, continuing to provide therapy service and even eventually reopening Camp Monroe. I am certain that was a nerve-wracking decision and a great deal of work. But it meant everything to Caleb and his friends to be together, and we were very grateful. MMI offers our children a safe place, innovative and effective services, a community, tons and tons of fun, and a chance to be like their peers. For years, I have joked with my family and friends that MMI is definitely about the people because it was not about the facility, and yet our kids love to be there. So when Brian Anderson told me about this new building project, I was elated. This facility now matches the fantastic staff that it houses. I have focused largely on camp and recreation therapy here today because they are the programs that mean so much to my family. But in this wonderful new building, there are so many opportunities for innovative therapies and for interdisciplinary care for all of those in our community. I want to thank Dr. Mirnix for your passion and your vision that made this happen, for Melanie Welsh for allowing me to share my story, and for the entire MMI staff and the people who are here today for their commitment to our kids. Thanks.
Thank you, Susan. We really appreciate your kind words, and I'm sure very heartfelt for all of the families and individuals we have an opportunity to care for here at MMI. To tell us more about how this project came together and the people, families, and foundations that helped bring this dream to life, I'd like to welcome Mr. Brian Hastings, President of the University of Foundation. But while Brian is coming up, I'd like to tell you a little historical vignette, something truly amazing. And that is, there came a day, 1 December, that this dream became a reality. And that is that we took what's called a program statement to the Board of Regents. That's a very technical statement, but that's how you begin a facilities development project, through what's called a program statement. Once the program statement is done, that's when you start to look for resources, i.e., the public-private partnership that brings the university's resources together with the private philanthropic resources. For those of you that were not aware, this was approximately a $93 million project to purchase, restore, and to create the amazing programs and facilities that you're now sitting in. In May of the very next year, we took the IDR, the Intermediate Design Review, to the Board of Regents, meant that we had completed $93 million of fundraising in less than 6 months. The following August, less than 3 months from when the IDR was passed by the Board of Regents, ground was broken. We started the move-in last January. It is hard to believe in such a short period of time that we could plan, that's the editorial we, to the gentleman sitting in the front row there, he and his colleagues could plan these facilities, work together with the foundation, with many of the people in this room. Mr. Yanni is here, who's been exceptionally important in this process, to raise $93 million, break ground, end up with the most phenomenal facility, and be here today to celebrate the important ribbon cutting. So with that, Mr. Brian Hastings.
Thank you, Chancellor Gold. It's a pleasure to be with all of you and have a chance on behalf of our team, Amy Volk, Meg Johnson, Brian Anderson, and others who've been so involved with this project, and others at UNMC, to represent the University Foundation. We proudly celebrated our 85th anniversary as an organization last week. And our staff, I will tell you, feels very passionately about the work that we do in partnership with the university to grow relationships and resources that enable the University of Nebraska to change lives and save lives. And if you look no further than this project and the facility that we're in, this is just one of many great testaments to where the incredible generosity of our benefactors helps the University of Nebraska change lives and save lives on a daily basis. We're grateful for the opportunity that we have to work with benefactors and the tremendous work that they do each day, but this initiative has been specifically profound for our team because we've shared in the joy, and I would say we've even shared many tears of happiness as we've heard the stories from patients and families about their experiences and their impact here. And as we've heard from some of the stories today from patients and their families, some people, when they arrive at the doors, they face a new journey. Some may be apprehensive of the unknown that stands ahead of them. And others who are familiar with MMI will feel renewed when they come back. And so the story of every individual is obviously unique and special, but all of them are going to encounter the same level of care and support and passion that you can find here. And so Chancellor Gold shared the tremendous story of how fast this project came together and how wonderful it has been. And I'd just like again to give tribute to those whose caring and generosity made this facility possible. So as we recognize each of our principal benefactors for this project, I'm going to ask that you and your family or foundation representatives stand and just allow us a moment to say thank you personally to each of you. And I'm going to begin with the Whites family. thank the Lozier Foundation, too, for their help on this project. And last, I want to acknowledge especially the Scottish Rite Foundation, which has a long history with MMI in providing programmatic support to help on a daily basis with all the activities and the programs here. So I want to recognize and ask John Maxwell to stand and be recognized. Thanks, John. So there's obviously quite a bit about this facility to be proud about. It's one of a kind, but as you get a chance to explore it inside and out, one of the wonderful things about it is the artwork. And you saw some of the images and the slides and the videos before. And I want to mention two pieces of art in particular that were commissioned and installed by renowned sculpture artist Anthony Howe, who has works featured across the world. His works feature kinetics, so the art moves, and there's two pieces on site here. So the smaller piece is titled Waterfall, which is right out front. You'll see it's made of nearly 800 stainless cups that move in circling pieces at about 2 miles per hour. And then the larger piece at 35 feet high is titled Soar, and it's the tallest of the two kinetic pieces and comes in and weighs at 2 tons. Soar was generously given by the Donald C. Scott family in honor of their mother and grandmother, Ruth Scott, who's also generously given of her time and talents to Monroe Meyer for many years. And so, just like the iconic yellow canopy that was at the entry of the earlier MMI home, we hope that Soar will be a welcoming point here for families and their patients as they arrive. So, Ruth, we want to join your family in saying thank you for all of your support, not just for this project and helping make this project possible, but for all that you've done across the university in helping our faculty, staff, and our students soar. So now an appreciation for all of our donors, large, small, everything in between, who played a part in making this project a reality. We have a dedicated feature for all of you just to say thank you for your tremendous support. Thank you for caring.
These kids are so wonderful. They have such big hearts, and they're so giving and caring and loving, and it's just fantastic to know that there are people out there that see that they deserve a great brand new building.
I appreciate their willingness to put their hard work and their funds and their love towards something that greatly affects the entire community.
I mean, I just feel so grateful that we have something like this in our community. I think it's a testament of the celebration of our children.
We're very appreciative of the donors that make this beautiful building possible and all the staff and wonderful activities that we get to do. So thank you.
Thank you from the bottom of a parent's heart.
Thank you for caring.
Thank you for caring.
Thanks for caring.
Thanks for caring.
Thank you for caring.
Thanks for caring.
Thank you for caring.
Jay, say thanks for caring.
Thank you for caring.
Good job, Ed.
Thanks for caring.
Thank you for caring.
Thank you for caring.
Thanks for caring.
Thanks for caring.
Thanks for caring.
شكرا جزيلا. شكرا.
Thanks
Thanks
for
for
caring.
caring.
Thanks for caring.
Thanks for caring.
Thank you for caring.
Thank you for caring. And so I would now like to get to the part that we all came here for, which is the ribbon cutting, to celebrate the opening of this wonderful facility. Many of you will note that we have a yellow ribbon today instead of our typical red. I, by the way, have a small piece of ribbon from every one of these events that I've had the opportunity to participate in now almost 7.5 years in this community. It sits in a pile on my desk, and I must tell you that pile continues to grow on nearly a weekly basis. But we did this differently today as a nod to the old MMI building and yellow awning that was directly outside the main doors and became synonymous with MMI. Should also just reflect for a second. While I will certainly cherish this piece of yellow ribbon, I will never forget the piece of red ribbon from when we cut the ribbon for the Fred and Pamela Buffett Cancer Center, and at that time, former Vice President Joe Biden inscribed it. It was really an incredibly emotional experience. I'd now like to invite some of our very special guests to come up and help us to cut this ribbon. We'll start off with Dr. Karoli Mernix, Mayor Gene Stothert, Regent Paul Kinney, Dr. Tim Schreiber, of course, our family representative, Susan Gass, and your son Caleb, please join us, Mr. Brian Hastings, Bill and Ruth Scott, Barb and Wally Weitz, and Mr. Steve McWhorter. Thank you, everybody. We really appreciate your being here today.